hear a story? I have an animal story for you tonight. Let's see. It's the bear and the travelers. It's a story about friendship. Fair weather friends were around in the time of Aesop, and this is an Aesop's tale. In the 6th century BC, they were still, and they're still around today. Children should learn how to recognize when and how not to be one. Two travelers were on the road together when a bear suddenly appeared on the scene. Before he observed them, one of them headed for a tree on the side of the road and climbed up into the branches and hid there. The other was not so nimble as his companion, and as he could not escape, he threw himself on the ground and pretended to be dead. The bear came up and sniffed all about him, but he kept perfectly still, and the bear, after he saw that he was holding his breath and he didn't move, the bear wouldn't touch a dead body. So the bear thought he was dead, and the bear went away. When the coast was clear, the traveler in the tree came down and asked the other, "What did the bear whisper to you when he put his mouth to your ear?" The other replied, "He told me never again to travel with a friend who deserts you at the first sign of danger." Well, that was a short one, and I have another animal story, and it's also about friendship. It's the cat and the mouse in partnership. I think you're going to like this one. It shows that the wrong friend, if you pick the wrong friend, can be very disappointing. A cat, having made acquaintance with a mouse, professing such great love and friendship for her that the mouse at last agreed that they would live and keep house together. "We must make provision for the winter," said the cat, "or we will be hungry. And you, little mouse, you must not steer out, or you might be caught in a trap." So they took counsel together, and they brought a little pot of honey. And they could not tell where to put it safely, but after a long consideration, the cat said, "There could not be a better place than in the church, for nobody would steal there, and they would put it under the altar and not touch it until they were really in want." So this was done, and the little pot placed in safety. But before long, the cat was seized with a great wish to taste it. "Listen to me, little mouse," he said. "I've been asked by my cousin to stand and be the godfather for their little son she has brought into the world. He is white with brown spots, and they want to have the christening today. So let me go to it, and you stay home and keep the house." "Oh, yes, certainly," answered the mouse. "Pray go by all means. And when you are feasting on all the good things, think of me. I should so like a drop of sweet red wine." But there was not a word of truth in all of this. The cat had no cousin and had not been asked to be the godfather. He went to the church, straight to the little pot, and he licked the honey off the top. Then he took a walk over to the roofs of the town and saw his acquaintances. He stretched himself in the sun. He licked his whiskers as oft as he thought of that little pot of honey. And when it was evening time, he went home. "Here at last," said the mouse. "I expect you've had a merry time." "Oh, pretty well," answered the cat. "And what name did you give the child?" asked the mouse. "Top Off," answered the cat dryly. "Top Off," cried the mouse. "That is a singular and wonderful name. It's common in our family." "What does it matter?" said the cat. "It's not any worse than Crumb Picker, like your godchild." Oh, a little time after this, the cat was again seized with a longing. "Again I must ask you," said he to the mouse, "do to me a favor. You keep the house alone all day. I have been asked a second time to go and be the godfather, and the little one has a white ring around his neck. I cannot refuse." So the kind little mouse consented, and the cat crept along by the town wall until he reached the church, and going straight to the little pot of honey, he devoured half of it. "Nothing tastes as well as what one keeps to himself," he said, feeling quite content with his day's work When he reached home, the mouse asked, "And what name did you give to this child?" "Half gone," answered the cat. "Half gone," cried the mouse. "I never heard of such a name in all my life. I bet it's not found in any of the calendars." So after that, the cat's mouth began to water again for the honey. "Good things always come in threes," said he to the mouse. "Again I've been asked to stand and be the godfather for a little one. It's quite black with little white feet. Not any white hair on its body. Such a thing does not happen every day. So will you let me go? You will let me go, won't you?" "Top off, half gone," murmured the mouse. "They're such curious names. I cannot help but wonder at them." "That's because you're always sitting home," said the cat, "in your little gray frock and hairy tail, never seeing the world and fancying all sorts of things." So the little mouse cleaned the house. He set it all in order. Meanwhile, the greedy cat went and made an end of the little pot of honey. "Now all is finished. One's mind will be easy," he said, and he came home in the evening quite sleek and comfortable. The mouse at once asked, "What name did you give the third child?" "Oh, it won't be any that been the others. I bet it's all gone." "All gone!" cried the mouse. "What an unheard of name. I never met with anything like it. All gone. Whatever can it mean?" And shaking her head, she curled herself around and went to sleep. And after that, the cat was not again asked to stand and be the godfather. When the winter had come and there was nothing more to be had outside the doors, the mouse began to think of their store. "Come, cat," she said, "we'll fetch our pot of honey. How good it will taste for sure." "Of course it will," said the cat. So they set out, and when they reached the place, they found the pot, but it was empty. "Oh, now I know what it meant," cried the mouse. "Now I see what sort of partner you've been. Instead of standing the godfather, you have devoured it all. First top off, then half gone, then—" "Will you hold your tongue?" screamed the cat. "Another word and I'll devour you too." The poor little mouse, having all gone already out of her tongue, came, and the cat leaped and made an end of her. And that's the way of the world. When you pick a friend, make sure you pick a good one. Don't pick one like the guy who jumped up in the tree, or like the cat who ate all the honey. But pick a good friend, one that will be with you right to the end. Well, that's our story for today. I'll come back with another one later. You be good, and we'll see you then.